Hey everybody, it's Anakin, and you are listening to Down the Scope, the gaming podcast you can't miss. And if you cannot believe it, I know you can't, this is episode 17. This is the 17th week of Down the Scope.
Nobody thought it would go this far.
That's right. I know. It's crazy.
It just wasn't going to happen. And then, Reed doubted us, and he left.
And he was like, wait a minute, it's still going?
He was like, coming up, and Reed's like, well, dang it, it's past the 10 mark. I better jump back on the bandwagon. We wouldn't let him on episodes.
You did not just pull the bandwagon. Oh, no, you didn't.
All right, well, so who we got this week? We've got a party of 4 this week. However, it's a sausage fest. We have no zombie lady. So we've got I'll be your host this week. This is your great friendly neighborhood Anakin, and we've got Viridia Guru, we've got Rad Austin 27, and we have a very special guest this week. We have got the friendly, wonderful director from NGT, Medina for Life. What's going on, Medina?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that Spanish thing. And you mean special as in like awesome right now? Like, damn, Medina.
I don't know. I think he means both.
I know, you're first to me in the same way, so I don't know.
Oh, I see how it is.
Gotta be careful with that one.
Well,
we'll be here today.
Good. We're glad to have you on the show this week. It's kind of neat to have a new voice, not necessarily a new face, but a new voice on the show. Welcome to it. And Viridia, what's going on with you this week? Tell me about what's new.
All LA Noire. That's all that's new for me, and that's all that's been happening. Other than, well, I've been playing some Mortal Kombat multiplayer, but that was like 2 weeks ago news, So right now, that's all I got to talk about, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
Awesome. And guess who's back this week? Rad Austin 27. Man, what in the heck has been going on?
I have been so busy, it's not funny. All I've been doing is rendering videos on the weekend, like 50 of them, and posting them one at a time during the week. You have no idea how happy I am to be back, and my really competitive season is finally coming to a close. I can happily say I'll be back with Down the Scope every week, unless, this Saturday's actually true, and the week I come back, the freaking world ends the next day. But, that's my luck.
I wanted to bring that up because doesn't seem kind of stupid to even be doing this since everybody died yesterday?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, isn't that weird? And plus,
everybody
already died already in Japan. That's what's even weirder.
Yeah, so they're dead because it's already
tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's coming toward us. So basically, what this podcast is basically like a message to whoever finds it.
Exactly.
It's not even meant to be heard on YouTube. If it is, it's a miracle.
By the time
zombies
we're finished
probably going to be watching it.
Yeah, exactly. And by the time we're finished, everybody in Asia will be dead, and then moving slowly towards Europe, and then we're going to die right after this. I won't even be able to render this.
Scientists are going to be more civilized again, then they're going to find this video, and they're going to be looking back at us like, wow, that's how things were back in the day, huh?
Can you imagine?
Did you know it's supposed to be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when it's supposed to all end for the East Coast? 6 p.m.
Oh, no.
So, wait. So 6 p.m. tomorrow?
Yeah. They're going to make us wait the entire day.
Here's what I want to know, okay? So you've got this bus full of people who are so freaking, they know what's going to happen. What happens tomorrow to these people when it doesn't?
They believe it even more.
What are they going to do? It's just like, they wake up and it's like, wait a minute, we were wrong? Do they off themselves? I mean, what do they do? It's like, no. This was supposed to happen, so we're just going to go ahead and do it.
Get the Kool-Aid ready.
Oh, that's dark. All right.
Well, anyway. See, I actually made a little post on my Facebook account today, and I said, all hail the angelic dinosaurs coming down tomorrow to rip our souls from our body. And everybody was like, what the hell are you talking about? And I said, what? You haven't heard of the velocirapture?
Oh, Nate did it. Oh, no, set me up. Oh, God. I thought we could get...
Anyway. God. All right, so yeah, if you don't know what the hell we're talking about, the rapture is supposed to happen tomorrow at 6 for Eastern. Luckily, it won't be happening until 7 Central.
Lucky you.
Because wait, is that even right? No, it won't be happening till about 5. So is it going to take a whole hour to travel to us?
Well, is it 6 Greenwich Mean Time? I mean, what? I mean, what 6 are they talking about?
This tornado or this quake rather is traveling at exactly the right speed. And it is going to hit every single place at exactly 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So it's going to be this big. It's going to be amazing, guys. I mean, I just can't even put it into words.
It's like the world's worst earthquake traveling at 1 time zone per hour. Coming right at you.
And if you think I'm shitting you, it's on like CNBC or something. So what's going to happen is basically it's going to shake the ground to the point where all the graves in the world fly up out of the ground, and the good people they are just taken to heaven, and the bad they become reanimated. And they come after us. I swear that is exactly what this guy is saying.
Okay, but wait. What happens to the cremated ones?
Dude, that's called zombie dust, and you don't want to mess with that.
Is that anything like pixie dust or what? I mean,
they become like the Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Phoenix. As soon as fire hits it, you're smoking a cigarette. Boom! You just like.
I think I saw that on Harry Potter.
Do not inhale it.
It just erupts into a fiery bird demon.
And they all gather in the middle of Arizona.
Unfortunately, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Unfortunately for us, we don't live near the damn Grand Canyon, so we don't have to worry about it. Anyway, that has nothing to do with gaming. So what's on?
Wait. Before we end this, though, if anybody needs any advice or help on zombie apocalypse, just send me a personal message on YouTube,
God.
and I might get back to you.
Damn it.
I don't know, Reed. You might just be taken with the initial patch. I think wouldn't that be hilarious? That would be as like he goes to church every Sunday, right? And now he gets taken before the zombie apocalypse happens. He never gets to witness it.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Yeah. Anyway,
you know how much fun I would have? Oh my gosh. Oh,
I know.
Oh, next topic. Hurry. Come on. Oh gosh.
I'm not gonna lie. From your shadow, you look pretty scrawny.
Nice. Well, all right, damn it. Let's talk about some video games. Since this is a gaming podcast, you can't.
Wait, is it? Really?
Yeah, really. It's really a gaming podcast.
So what the heck happened in the last week? What came out? Okay, come on, here, Viridia. What video game came out Tuesday?
Well, I think it was LA Noire.
LA Noire. Wow, tell me more about it.
LA Noire is it's kind of one of those mediocre games, you don't hear much about it, and Rockstar's just getting onto the scene, so it's it's an okay game.
From this new studio named Rockstar comes
that we've never heard of before. No, so yeah, LA Noire, we finally got to see what this game is all about, and it's great. It's absolutely amazing. Have you played it? You said a little bit.
I did. I'm actually probably 5 hours or so into it, and I'm trying to just savor it along the way. Unlike some people I've heard who've already beat it.
Well, when you're playing through a game, you're having a good time. It's like one of those things you just can't put it down. And
yeah, no, I probably would have beat it as well if I'd not, if I didn't have so many other goofy things going on with me right now. Tell me, is the whole thing satisfying? Is it really awesome? Would you even play it again or what?
Yeah, let me give you my full overview, and we'll get to that. So basically, if you haven't heard of LA Noire. LA Noire is the new sandbox game from Rockstar, and if you're thinking Grand Theft Auto, think again. This game is exactly the opposite almost of Grand Theft Auto, other than the fact that it's sandbox. In this game, you actually play as Cole Phelps in 1945, I think?
I think it's 45.
Yeah, and basically you're a detective, or you start off as a policeman, and you're basically working your way up. The story takes place within about 4 desks of the LAPD detective squad. You've got homicide, you've got vice, you've got arson, and traffic.
That's right.
So and not in that order, but but yes. those are the desks that you inherit, and basically you're just listening to his story or playing out his story as it goes. The game, more than being just a sandbox run around game, is more of a thinking game. It is, and let me tell you this, guys, it is not a game for kids. Okay, it is not at all a game for kids in many ways. And when I say kids, I honestly mean probably about 17 years old. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some pretty crazy stuff in this game. Not only that, these puzzles, these cases can get difficult. And if you don't have, I know people out there, they don't have that patience. You have to have patience. You have to take your time. You have to study. You have to investigate. You have to really, really use your intuition and think about what's going to happen. So, that being said, the game plays out very well. The shining star about LA Noire is not Cole Phelps. It's not the story. It's the way that they've animated the faces. It's the way that they've taken, and I don't know how they do this, honestly. It's basically, I guess it's like a 3-dimensional camera, and instead of just voicing the character in the game, they actually film their face. They film every single crease, every single lip movement, every single, smirk, wink, whatever. And it just brings you into this world. It is absolutely phenomenal. And you're going to be using this not just to say, ooh, this is an awesome, pretty game. You're going to be using this mechanic in your investigations to tell whether somebody is lying, withholding information, telling the truth. It's insane. So this is pretty much what you're working with, and it all works amazingly well. There's not much to gripe about with this game. There is a few things. I'll get to those shortly. But you're gonna be dealing with about a 15 to 20 hour long gameplay time, depending on how you play it.
For now, until the DLC hits.
As a matter of fact, there's actually DLC already in the damn thing.
That's right.
You've got a slip of the tongue and the console's car and their cases, so they're already in there. Unfortunately, I've got it for PS3, so I can't get them yet. But it's already there. There's going to be tons of cases added on here. There's a lot of time where there's missing links in the story where these cases could easily just fit in, and could really open up the game. And each case, I would. That's the thing, though. I don't know if I would pay like $3 for one case. I don't think it's worth that. But the cases alone, it was very satisfying. It was very fun, very engaging to go and try and figure this stuff out. The thing about it is that here's my negatives about the game. Negative number 1, basically it doesn't matter how you solve a case. If you mess up, it does not affect the outcome of the game at all.
Yeah.
It will never affect it, and that upsets me. What it'll do is it'll affect the ending of the case you get. So whether or not your buddy comes around the corner, your lieutenant comes around the corner and he's like praising you, or yelling at you, telling you you're going to be working the street corner for 3 months, that's all it changes. It doesn't actually affect the ending. That was pretty disappointing.
I assume it doesn't really. It must not affect the progression of your character either, because odds, you still have to go on and be promoted. So
right, as far as I can tell, and from what I played, there is no way that it affects it. So that's pretty unfortunate. I would like to have seen a penalty. However, even without a penalty, you still strive to get the best, because it's just kind of an IQ test, honestly. It's like, how intuitive, how smart are you? So I'm happy to say I 4 and 5 starred most of the cases, so I did pretty good. There were a few times where they would throw you a character that was either high as a kite or really just had a stone cold face, and you really just didn't know how to read them. And there's one lady in particular in the story, and when you talk to her, she's like messed up on drugs. So it's really hard to gauge her. You might have already played that one, Anakin.
Yeah, I did actually, and that one was tough. I was like, I don't know, this could go either way,
So,
exactly.
Just coming from I don't know nothing about the game. I just heard little bits and pieces about it. But is that what makes it that whole facial thing? Do you have to take those subtle hints of facial features and see if that person's lying or something like that? Is that how the game works? 'Cause I really don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it's meant to be, and that's the way you have to do it with a few characters. However, to be honest, most of it comes down. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You can tell if they're lying or not just from their just straight from the way they're looking at you. And the hardest part about the game is not telling whether they're lying or not. Basically, you've got 3 choices when you interrogate somebody. You've got lie, doubt, and truth. Now, it's pretty damn easy to tell if they're telling the truth. Most of the time, it's just, they look right at you. They're like, yeah, they don't break eye contact. They're not swallowing hard. They're not, like, scratching their face. However, when it becomes hard is when you can tell that they're lying. However, you can't tell them, you can't accuse them of lying without having proof. So, you have to say, okay, do I have the proof to say that this guy's lying, or do I just have to doubt him and try and, get what I need? If you don't do it correctly, you don't get certain leads that can lead to, easier ways to get the case solved. And that's pretty much the progression of the story.
What about when you progress further in the story? Does it become harder to detect whether or not somebody's lying or no?
Yeah, well, it's not really harder to detect if they're lying. It's not that. It's harder to prove that they're lying.
Oh, okay.
Basically, the clues go from, it's like, hey, were you at this place? And he says no, and then you open your clues up and it says, we've got a straight up confession from this guy saying that he saw him do it. It goes from that to being like extremely, extremely subtle, like, I don't know, like you get something, it would be like on the bottom of a vase. You could have easily missed this clue, and it's got some letters written on it, and then you use those letters to find this thing, and this thing proves that he was at this place. I mean, it gets...
Oh, wow, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy. So you really have to find all the clues. You have to find, you have to answer all the questions correctly, and that's really fun. The game can start to get a little bit repetitive, especially when you're clue hunting, because that can take a while. Especially, you basically, it's kind of like an I Spy, and you're running around and you're waiting to hear a little ding-dong, a little chime telling you there's something there to look at. And, when you think you found everything and you keep picking up damn, Coke cans and shit because you don't know what to find, it can get pretty bad. Now this is me personally. To any of you guys out there, we got reamed pretty hard by a bunch of really immature people, like griping at us about Brink. I'm not saying you're immature if you liked Brink. I'm saying you're immature if you called us names. We got a lot of those last time, which I couldn't care less. But this is my personal opinion.
I don't know what they were brinking.
I know,
right? Man.
I know, right? Jeez. Did you see some of those, man? It was like, not only that, most of the insults were all misspelled. I
know.
I was laughing my ass off. I was like, dude, I can't even respond to this. But anyway, my number one thing about the game, and it's hard to even explain, so I don't even think I should. But
do it.
IGN actually, I was kind of pissed off because they knocked this game's review down because of the ending of the game, and I was like, why would they do that? That's so stupid.
Are you talking about Brink? Or L.A. Noire?
L.A. Noire, sorry.
God,
I'm back on track.
I was about to say, wait a minute. We have the end of Brink? There's no end. There's no beginning.
Okay, no, I'm back on L.A. Noire. But they knocked it for having a bizarre ending. And I was like, that's kind of weird, because the game is just flawless. However, I now have to say that I docked it some respect points for the ending. It was very odd, the way it was portrayed, and it kind of took you out of this level of comfort that you have through the whole game. And I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but it takes you out of that comfort, and it's very, very twisted.
Interesting.
You know what that reminds me of? Exactly what it reminds me of what you just described.
What?
My exact experience with Mortal Kombat 9.
What?
My exact experience. I felt that the entire Mortal Kombat campaign, I'm talking just campaign, the story mode, I felt the entire campaign was awesome until the last about 20, 30 seconds of it. I'm like, wow. That's really lame. I'm not gonna. I don't want to talk about it, like spoil that much of it. And
but again, though, there's
the L.A. Noire before me and Medina go Mortal Kombat on each other.
All right, yeah, well, I'll wait to leave my comments. I'm keeping that in mind. Let me write it down real quick. Hold on.
Please do. Son of a gun, Rad! You were just. I'm gonna beat. Oh God.
No, anyway, so yeah, it does something that I don't think there's another game that's really done it, and I personally don't think it's a very smart move for a game to do. And once the game's been out for a little bit, we might go back and talk about it. We'll give a big spoiler warning, and then we'll throw in the ending. But it's definitely one of the things. I mean, you got to look at it like a very tasty sandwich. It may be a new idea. Okay, so maybe your friend's like, okay, oh my God, this is amazing. Peanut butter and pickles is an amazing sandwich, and you're like, it sounds weird, but it doesn't sound repulsive. I'll try it. And then he's like, all right, but you got to drink this spoiled milk with it, and then the whole dinner can be ruined by that spoiled milk, knowing that you don't have a beverage to wash it down with if you don't like it. And the game is really good, but the ending just kind of left a weird taste in my mouth. And I'm not saying it's really bad. It's one of those endings that grow on you with time, but the way they did it is just a little odd. So.
Well, here let me throw a little something out too, because I mean you've got a much more well-rounded opinion of it than I do, but I feel the need to warn people a little bit because especially with the age of our audience, it varies so much. I mean the thing is, what I worry about for LA Noire, I haven't seen the sales figures this week on it. I don't know how well it's doing. I do worry that by recommending this game and having all the critical reviews being so high on it and everything, I worry that a large portion of people that buy this game who are younger are not going to have the attention span for it.
No.
I want to warn people about this, okay? First of all, there's already a limited audience because it is a single-player only game, okay? Think about this being, all right, this is a game that is for you to sit down by yourself, forget all the social interaction, and this is for you to be immersed in a time period that, again, is also somewhat foreign, maybe not even interesting to a younger generation right now who might want to try this game. We're talking about 1945, 6, 7. I forget how many years it takes place over. I think it goes more than a year.
No, I don't know. I actually I don't think it references the time period. However, I think there were some continuity errors in the NPC dialogue because.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of times where I would hear, "Oh, that guy solved this case last week?" Blah blah blah, and it was like, wait, no, that happened like 2 desks ago, so that couldn't have been a week ago because it said 6 months. So
yeah, well, exactly. I mean, how is this guy getting promoted all the way through the department?
Exactly.
I just figured that it had to have taken place at least over some amount of time. I mean, you start off as like a beat cop, and I mean, you go all the way to arson or whatever. It seems pretty crazy that they never really, at least not in my experience so far, they never really determine time periods.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters overall, but obviously the thing is this is going on in the 40s. It's taking place over some amount of time for a person to advance through their career, and the one thing that you have to keep in mind, especially to the younger audiences out here, who have an itchy, twitchy finger, for games like Call of Duty and all the other chest-high wall games like Gears of War and everything else out there. The deal is this is not a shooter. It's not a racer. If you get bored quickly by listening to dialogue in games or by following a story, do yourself a favor, rent it first or go to a friend's house and check it out and make sure that this game is up your alley. Now, the thing is, I have the highest recommendation for this game so far, but I just know that I may be on an island on this one, at least because of my age or because of my level of interest. And even I found myself at times, strictly because of my limited gaming time these days, I found myself saying, well, let me go ahead and put this away, and I'm gonna throw in Crysis 2 real quick and go do some twitchy gameplay for a few minutes, just because I kind of feel like I'm in that mood. So it is something to keep in mind, and I do want to warn people. And this is not a negative thing here, okay? But I just want to make sure that if we've got a 10-year-old kid listening to this or whatever, first of all, the game's not for you anyway because of your age. But at the same time, your attention span is probably not going to hold to this game, and you may not even enjoy it because of the kind of topics and things that they go over. So
yeah, it's so basically, I mean, if you're honestly, I'm not trying to make anybody mad out there, you either read. If you're under the age of 17, this game probably isn't for you. And like, unless you've got a very mature handling, you like reading case books, watching Law and Order and stuff, then maybe.
To be honest with you, Brad, I watched Law and Order a lot. To be frank,
that's why I said no.
And also, I have to say with L.A. Lenore or
L.A. Lenore.
Yeah. All right, sure. I've been watching it online, and I've been fascinated. And by the way you described it, I'm probably gonna go pick it up now.
Right.
I have a lot of money sitting around, and I'm the type of guy that loves puzzle games. I have Portal 2, and it is literally eating me alive that I haven't played it yet.
You haven't played Portal 2?
Do you understand how busy I've been? This is the first free night in like 5 weeks. It is awesome.
All right. Well, in any case, yeah, this game has some very disturbing imagery. As a matter of fact, the first homicide desk is, every case has, I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but every case deals with a nude, dead woman in a like in a ditch or something. And the thing is that it's not covered up, and there's no there's a piece of bark or something over her. No, it's flat out, and you've got to observe her body. You have to find the clues. And these the faces look pretty real. So when you turn the head and there's a huge gash in the side of the skull and there's brain dripping out, it's very real. It's not like this Mortal Kombat cartoony type violence where you punch him in the face and like torrents of blood shoot out. No. This looks real, and it's in that context. Not only that, of course, you've got the language.
The language is not very forgiving.
It's rock starry, okay?
Yeah, there you go. Enough said, right?
But yeah, this is, like Anakin said, this is a zombie no-go game. This is not something Miss Zombie Lady would play because it is not social. There is no multiplayer. The closest you've got, I think there's maybe some leaderboards or something in the social club.
Yeah, that's right.
For some certain things. One more thing to bring up really quick before we go that was a negative to me about this game is the cover mechanic when it does come down to shooting, because there are certain instances where you get into shootouts, you get into car chases, you get into on-foot pursuits. The cover system wasn't good. It's basically, you click R1 to go to cover, you hold R1 to go to round cover. If you want to get to another piece of cover, it's just all hell to get to. So that's a big thing for me, because toward the end of the game, you're going to be using cover a lot, and it's just it was horrible. So that was another big thing that hurt me. If I had to give this game a rating out of 10, I would personally give it a 9. I would say it's that solid of a game. You guys know that I hate most games that come out. I buy them.
I hate everything.
Every game that comes out.
This one is worth your purchase if you were old enough. If you know that you're going to like a game like this. If you got the mentality. If you can watch, a murder movie, mystery movie, and then you can, really go, okay, I'm going to really need to be a little bit smarter than average on this one. I'm not going to be able to play multiplayer when I'm done with the single player. You're good to go.
What I would say is, if you played Grand Theft Auto 4 for the story, then go buy this game.
There you go. That's a good idea. If you play,
what about Heavy Rain? Is it like similar, like?
Not in gameplay, but yes, definitely. If you're the type to enjoy Heavy Rain and even get through kind of the interface issues that Heavy Rain had, but if you played Heavy Rain and you were able to get through it and you were engrossed in the story, then this game is definitely for you, I think.
Yeah, see, the thing is that Heavy Rain was more a movie than a game.
Definitely.
Whereas L.A. Noire, it is a sandbox game. Now, they have created a humongous, I think it's like a 9 square mile chunk of Los Angeles. And it is huge for this game. As a matter of fact, I don't even think you use the Hollywood side at all very much. Like, right. The arson division is up there, but most of the stuff takes place other places. And that's the thing. They even added a partner drive mechanic into the game so that you didn't have to drive all the way. Because not only that, I mean, you got to understand, this isn't Grand Theft Auto. You're not a vigilante. You're not a bad guy. You're a cop. So if you crash, if you hit a person, if you do damage, it all counts toward your final goal, your final rating at the end of the mission, and it can hurt you depending on how much car damage you did and all that stuff. And that really makes the chase scenes even more of a thing, because the bad guys, they will like cut through yards running people over. You can't do that. You've got to go on the street. So you've literally got these parts where you've got to say, oh God, do I take the shortcut or do I do the right thing and go around? So yeah, it's really always gauging. So it's a really fun and interesting game. You're really going to like it. If nothing else, watch some videos at least to see the motion capture on the faces.
You gotta hurry though. You gotta hurry. They're getting taken down.
Yeah, they'll get taken down if you don't hurry. So
yeah, no kidding. Thanks for that, Rockstar.
Exactly. Thanks, Rockstar, for not letting me share my experience. You jerk.
Yeah, it's like, Rockstar, I would love to advertise all of your products. What's that? Oh, sorry. No problem.
I got to this point. I thought about it so much that I was like, maybe the reason they keep taking it down is because they want to save the integrity of the story. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad idea, but the thing is, I would buy that if they were only doing it for LA Noire. The problem is they do it for all of their games. I mean,
yeah,
it's
true that.
It's kind of a kind of a weird issue. But anyway, I'll tell you what. Let's move on. Let's talk about Medina. I think you had some things to talk about having to do with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I still remember you read and what you said about the story. Technically, Mortal Kombat has 27 different endings if you really think about it.
Yes, I agree with you on that. If you do the ladder and that stuff, I like the ladder endings; those are really cool. But the story itself, I mean, ugh,
now listen to me. Okay?
So good. I was so sucked into
All right, can we talk about the story? I mean, the game's been out for like 3 weeks, or how long has it been? A month? Over a month. So and then PSN was out.
Spoiler alert, and you are a failure. Anyway.
Wait, yeah, you have to give a spoiler alert if you're going to talk about it, you guys. I think you might.
So skip ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What killed me is Raiden beat Shao Kahn. He must win Shao Kahn. I'm like, brilliant. That's good. That was a really good idea. But what kills me, everyone is dead. I mean, like, oh, well, it's Mortal Kombat. People die, right? But the whole idea that Raiden was trying to save everyone, and he ultimately failed, and then everyone's dead. Shao Kahn dies. There's like 5 people left living, and then all of a sudden, little Quan Chi comes out of nowhere and is like, haha, went according to plan.
Well, no, that's pretty much how it was. It's supposed to be Quan Chi and Shinnok, and that's how Deadly Alliance started. That's how Mortal Kombat 3 ended, pretty much, with Shinnok being the freaking main boss for Mortal Kombat 4. And that's how it's supposed to be. And then the way they did the story again is, instead of making Liu Kang the hero, because apparently nobody likes Liu Kang, they killed him off in Deadly Alliance.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It kind of was, but in this game they didn't make Liu Kang the hero too much, although he did win the first 2 tournaments. Raiden ends up killing him by accident. Well, not by accident, but I thought it was a really good story. I really did like the story. I really did. I
loved it all besides the ending, because I was just
the ending was the best part with Shinnok.
No, but the thing I'm saying with it is I'm going to look at it and I'm going to be like, so the next Mortal Kombat 10 comes out, let's say, just like, oh, well, guess what? Quan Chi, Sindel, they all magically got alive again.
Are you a noob? You're a noob to Mortal Kombat. They always do that.
I know.
They always come back to life.
And then but the game itself, for that game to have the story in the first place, is that any fighting game needs to take note of Mortal Kombat for actually doing the story the way they did it.
Well, this is why I think this is funny. I'm laughing inside of this conversation, because I'm like, wait a minute, we just got through talking about LA Noire, this heavy story-based game, and then we're all over here going, wow, man, the story for Mortal Kombat. I'm like, what? The story for Mortal Kombat was good. What the hell?
Have you played Mortal Kombat?
I haven't played the new one, and honestly, for fighting games, I mean, obviously, I've never really played a fighting game for the story. I never really was that engrossed,
Tripping out about it. This is the first fighting game ever that has had a story like this and actually work and be fluid and be just awesome.
All right, well, neither of you guys watched my Let's Play, evidently.
I
So
did.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with both of you. Honestly, I thought maybe the story was okay, but one, it was full of continuity errors. It was full of okay, look. In theory,
Okay.
it is completely okay to have Raiden, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile. When you've got all these people together, when you've got it on paper and you're using stills and text to tell the story. However, when you bring this to a full motion video plane, it looks goofy as shit. When you've got Raiden, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya Blade, some of these guys look like decent human beings, and you got these ninjas and Raiden's head. I mean, it's like...
Do they look ridiculous? Yeah, that's just because they're not like freaking us. They're Shaolin monks and people from different realms, and it's supposed to be more sci-fi than actual,
Right.
You don't walk around in a ninja costume?
However,
Oh, what the heck? My neighbor across the street is a reptile. I mean, what?
However, listen here. Here's where I'm going with this. Okay, so basically, what it seems like Nether Realms is what I'm gonna call them. Midway, Ed Boon, John Tobias created a story back in 1994, and it was not meant to go anywhere. It was never. No,
was it?
it was not meant to go anywhere. It was supposed to be like just some random fighting game, but it caught on because of the violence. What they didn't do is they didn't really change the story. Okay, it just doesn't make any sense to me anymore. It's just like, okay, wait. So we've got this Nether Realm. We've got a Mortal Kombat happening. We're fighting in the middle of Manhattan, and our military, our intelligence is not giving a crap that there's a huge portal and a dragon flying out. I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
And then there's a helicopter following the freaking dragon.
Yeah, it's like, when does like Call of Duty interfere with Mortal Kombat? And some like Green Beret sons of guns come in, and Shao Kahn's standing there like, what are you doing? And they just start and they just take him out, Yeah. What is
I liked it. Like, really, how can you really do a fighting game story like this? I think it fit for their kind of realm, their kind of universe. It fit the Mortal Kombat universe, the way they did the story. I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan, and I love the story.
Oh, I am too. Don't get me wrong there, man. I am a huge Mortal Kombat fan, and honestly, I loved the way it was told back in the day. Like in Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, I loved how it was all told through text. You saw the characters the way they look, but you used your own imagination to build the story. And it's kind of like reading a book and then watching a movie to me when I see Mortal Kombat. When I see the new one with their story mode, it's never going to be the way I want it to be, just like the movies never were.
So there's a little bit of nostalgia going on here, then.
Very much, yeah. I would say so, but more than that, it's just I guess the way it's told to a newer generation. This is going to be awesome, and this is going to be the way they see it.
Yeah,
and for
yeah, no, that does get me mad about some things when they reproduce stuff, and it's just like, oh no, you should have seen the original, how it really was before Hollywood or the next producer envisioned it and changed it up, because it does change perspective. And I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. Mortal Kombat is really.
Now let me.
One more thing before you chime back in. The ladder, when you climb the ladder and you get the endings, I absolutely love the artwork. Maybe it's only for Katana because I've only climbed it once because Shao Kahn makes me rage all night long.
So you don't watch my videos then either? Oh, okay.
It's not true. I watch all your combo videos because I suck.
All right, well, let me ask you guys this, since we haven't talked about this on the podcast. Have any of you guys seen the Mortal Kombat short films?
I
Yep.
have.
Yes, Legacy. They're when I saw the teaser for it, I was kind of scared. I'm like, because they were gonna make it so that they were all human, pretty much. That it's kind of non-fiction, and I didn't really like that. I'm like, that's not Mortal Kombat. You can't do a story like that. But then when the real series came out, they did add some of that, that sci-fi stuff and mystical powers in different realms, and I'm kind of thoroughly enjoying it. There are some little pet peeves about that, but I won't talk about that yet. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So you enjoyed it pretty much.
Well, yeah, but I'm not like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's okay. It's a pretty good web series, but I don't think it's the greatest.
Now is it true? I don't know about this. Is it true that they're actually going to turn this into a movie at the end?
No.
Here's the thing. The original, it actually was pitched as a movie originally when they did the trailer. And apparently later they had talked about turning it into a full-blown television show, and they were going to base it in the real world and kind of pull most of the sci-fi elements out of it. But apparently neither one of those ever got off of the ground. But I don't know what took place, but apparently they built up enough budget to make the online a series out of it, and that's where they're at with it now.
Oh, see, I had heard that they were actually going to. This web series was leading up to the movie. I didn't.
No.
I wasn't sure. Well, yeah, I've got some like the consistency. Like Kano doesn't look like Kano. Shang Tsung doesn't look like Shang Tsung.
Well, no, that's the thing. Kano, in the teaser, I think Kano has his eye back now, but yeah, he does have the cyborg eye, so he does look like the way he's supposed to.
Well, no. I'm talking like, dude, you gotta be hairy as hell. You gotta have a big ass beard. I mean, you gotta be one. But okay, so the original Mortal Kombat movie, that was Kano. Okay, yeah. That was what Kano looks like. That's what he's even based off of in this damn game. I mean, like, it just looks just like him.
Real quick about that movie too. Do you guys agree with me that the Mortal Kombat movie, like, even though it wasn't greatest in story, but it was the best video game movie that was truest to the video game because it didn't really change any elements.
Yes.
Like
Oh my gosh. Hey, let's go look at Super Mario Bros. Oh yeah, King Koopa.
In my opinion, like, I can't stand it. The first Mortal Kombat movie gets so freaking bad rap. I don't understand why. I've gone back and watched it. Yeah, there's some corny lines and junk.
But it's so true to the game.
Liu Kang looks like Liu Kang. Yeah, Kano looks like Kano. They all look just like they should.
Johnny Cage acts... He's fucking Johnny Cage.
Exactly.
Like, he's no doubt about that.
He's hilarious. And that's the way it should be. Then they messed it up with 2, with Annihilation, of course.
Yeah, they did. They really
didn't exist. There's no 2. There's only the first one.
What's a 2?
So basically, but I do have this. The I think his name was Brian Adams or something. The guy who played Shao Kahn in Annihilation, that was Shao Kahn. And they replace him in Legacy with this dude is puny and he looks like he's got.
Oh my god! Yeah, he is.
He's like, oh, my hair's all nice and fixed. I was like, Shao Kahn is bald. Doesn't have hair. He is like the burliest bald guy you've ever seen. He's like a foot taller than everybody.
He's not only a member. He's not only a member. He's also the president.
Right.
Nice one. Oh, so anyway, I guess we went into yet another Mortal Kombat review. I think that's the 4th one the podcast has had.
I'm sorry.
Look, the only way I'm buying this is if Noob Saibot is in it. If you guys can guarantee me that, then I'm in.
Of course he's in it.
Yeah, he's in it.
He's one of the quote unquote cheapest characters in the game.
Fantastic, I'm in.
Dude, I just don't ever get hurt. I don't ever get beat by him, and I can use him without even using his teleport.
The thing is, though, I gotta let my opponent pick him first, so I know who to like not use.
I know. I played you earlier. Remember?
whenever somebody's like does the hidden cursor thing, I always choose somebody who could beat Noob Saibot. That's the one thing in my mind. Go hidden cursor. Oh, they're picking Noob. I know it.
The only time I normally use my teleport is either to get out of a corner or if I'm stringing it onto the end of a combo. Now, what I don't understand is people get mad at Noob, but dude, there's like 7 characters that have teleport moves that are pretty much the exact same. I mean, look at Shiva's. It's just performed differently, and she lands on top of it.
But
oh my god!
Complaints come from is the fact that when people zone with Noob, they'll be all the way mid screen away, and then they'll be throwing those the shadows at you, and that's really what people get annoyed.
Oh, well, see, I don't even like. I mean, the shadow to me is a fireball. I'm
it is.
Sit there and spam it.
They're really quick though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that, I just found, I've actually got this match. It was absolutely hilarious. This dude was kicking my butt. I was using Kratos because everybody wanted to see some Kratos gameplay, but I've never played as him. And this dude had me down to like a sliver of health. He had all of his life. And I just kept hitting down forward X the whole time. Stab, and I'd hit the corresponding button. Boom! And I did it the whole match. Literally, and killed it. I won the match. I've got it on tape.
That's so great.
I've got it on tape. I was like laughing. I was so.
Who was he using?
He was using Kano.
Yeah. See, like people, they need to understand. They need to. Well, what people tend to forget when they're playing Mortal Kombat is they're so worried about what their next combo is going to be and how to do something. But they need to learn how to adapt to what your opponent is doing. It's a really big thinking game, and people fail to do that. Like you, Rudy, I could tell you 10 things that I recognize immediately from you using Melina that I could counter if we were to play right now because I know how you play now.
Yeah, we won't talk about how I play though because that's not interesting.
No, I'm not. No, you're actually a very good Melina player, but I'm just saying there's a bunch of things tendencies that you like to do that I notice, and being able to learning how to adapt yourself to counteract those is what really makes you a good player. You need to be smart and versatile in that kind of aspect.
Yeah, you're right. I totally agree, and that's what makes it so much more fun to play online versus playing a computer that knows when to block every 2 seconds.
Yeah. And then like this Mortal Kombat game, it's more technical than any other. Well, like the past 4 titles at least, and that's what NetherRealm Studios, formerly known as Midway, that's what they're trying to do. They really are trying to make this a more technical game. They're trying to get into that fighting game scene. They're trying to compete with Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom, and I'm actually very impressed by them.
Yeah, I am too. I really am. I personally didn't enjoy the story mode that much. The only reason I enjoyed it was because my fans enjoyed watching me play it. If I didn't, I wouldn't have done that. I personally don't like to play as every character in a game. I like to kind of go at my own pace. I would have been completely okay with this game just literally sitting in the practice mode for as long as I played the story, and then taking on a ladder challenge.
And you know what's awesome? You have that large ass story. You have the challenge tower, and then you could do the freaking arcade. It's so massive.
Yeah, the challenge tower is, I hear people griping, and even myself, once you get to the top, it's like, this is stupid, but you know what? It is a challenge tower. It's supposed to be hard, but
yeah.
You're fighting 3 Shao Kahns back to back, 1 life bar, and then that last challenge. Have you beat it, Medine? Or have you beat it?
Are you asking me if I beat it?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I have. I was trying to be sarcastic. It didn't come out that way though.
I know. I've got that anti-sarcasm skill. Unfortunately.
He's like,
yeah, I am actually. But no. So that was like one of the hardest fights ever. It was really hard, but after doing it, I know how to kick Shao Kahn's ass. Like, Shao Kahn is not a problem for me anymore. He really isn't. Well, yeah, when you get to use who you want to use.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you got to admit, if you're playing with Cyber Sub and you just unlocked him, you're not going to be like.
Oh hell no! You're gonna get your ass.
You're not gonna be comboing the crap out of him. You're gonna be like, fireball or ice ball.
Real quick before I don't know how long we're supposed to be doing this for, but I wanted to talk about the Ultimate Fighting Game tournament that's going on next Friday.
Yeah, tell us all about that real quick. Let's move on from Mortal Kombat. Tell us about what you're going to be attending.
All right, well, everybody knows how big Major League Gaming is, and one thing that MLG does not have is fighting games. And for fighting games, they have the equivalent, which is EVO. EVO is a huge national tournament in Las Vegas, thousands of dollars. And they have a road to EVO, so they'll have, different qualifying tournaments. And then the one that's going on, this one is the Ultimate Fighting Game Tournament. It's going to be held in Chicago, the 27th through the 29th. I'm actually going to attend all 3 days because I live here in Chicago, so it's no big deal for me. And I'm just really excited to go because I've been to some LAN tournaments before for Call of Duty and stuff. I've never been to a fighter one, and this one's going to be probably 3 times bigger than any LAN tournament that I've been to. So I'm actually really excited.
So what's the games they're going to cover? What all different fighting games?
It's going to be Super Street Fighter 4. It's going to be Tekken 6, Marvel vs. Capcom, Mortal Kombat, BlazBlue, and those games.
Oh my God, I love BlazBlue. I just got BlazBlue actually. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but
you're probably right. I haven't played it, so
yeah. But I got it for my birthday. You might have seen in my video, but most people hate me anyway for how spoiled I am. But I played it. Oh my God, it's so much fun, and I like the comedy of it. But if you're not an anime fan, then I definitely wouldn't recommend it to you because you're gonna see nothing but anime faces the entire game.
Yeah. All right. Well, so in this Mortal Kombat tournament, why aren't you actually participating?
Because I'm really not that good to compete at this level. Because these guys are pro. This is Mortal Kombat's the first fighting game I've played in years, and I've never played against people online. Well, I'm not that good.
But you've been playing Mortal Kombat as long as they have.
True. I mean, it is new.
Well, not necessarily. Like, one person that's competing, I think, is Tom Brady. He was actually a tester for freaking NetherRealms.
That's not fair.
And he's a pro. He's really good. He's a really good player, and he's probably going to be at EVO.
That doesn't actually. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that doesn't sound very fair for a QC guy in there. I mean, that's crazy.
He wasn't allowed to play at PDP, which is a tournament that was just held, and NetherRealm, Ed Boon was actually at that tournament. They were giving away arcade sticks and doing a bunch of things. $10,000 was the grand prize, but that guy Tom Brady, he was actually not allowed to play because he was a tester. And you're right, even though the fact that this is the first game, I had it for the same time, the guys that are playing it right now, they're all Street Fighter 4 pros. They're Marvel vs. Capcom pros. So they have that fighting game experience, and that transfers over to Mortal Kombat, and they're just able to perform, at a different level. It's just amazing. You have to see some of these online matches. They're just sick.
Yeah, I'll definitely I'll check that out, and I impress upon you guys out there listening to do the same thing, because I mean it gets pretty crazy when you got two pros playing rather than just two people who don't know what they're doing.
It's freaking. And also, for anybody who wants to see something like this, go to a site called shoryuken.com or testyourmight.com, and then check out Wednesday Night Fights and just stuff like that. And it's just a whole different aspect of gaming that I think many people who are really competitive really like it. And I know I like it. It's something that I'm in love with now.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. All right. Well, I mean, what else do we got going on?
Well, we've got some interesting user messages that came to us through our mail this week. We had some people talking about what was one of those. It was a bizarre email that we got. God dog it, what was that? It was a really weird one. Let me pull it up and we'll talk about that real quick.
All right, I know that one of them, and I'd like to get an opinion on this because it came in. It was a really good one. I don't think we actually answered this question before, but what do you guys think? I'm trying to find out who it was from. I wasn't prepared for this. Actually, it was from Squatch Beard.
Nice.
Okay, anyway,
I actually play online with Squatch. He's a cool guy.
Squatch says, "Hey DTS, I was wondering, where do you see the game commentating business 5 years down the road?"
That's one of the ones I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, do you see it becoming more popular or dwindling down? By the way, love the podcast. Great work. Thanks, Squatch. I wanted to hear what you guys thought about this, Anakin.
Man, I'll tell you what. I've been asked this over and over and over about the whole thing because let me tell you, first and foremost, the idea that this whole gaming commentary and all that, especially through YouTube only, I'm telling you, this is not a career choice. I've got so many people on my channel that write me all the time and go, "Hey, how did you get started in this? This is what I want to grow up to do." And I want to. Did you go to college for that? And I'm like, no. This is crazy. Okay, first of all, it doesn't pay.
I bought like 2 Happy Meals with the money I've made.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for whatever reason.
I'm joking. Maybe like 5.
And you didn't get the toys, so. But it's crazy. The thing is I really think that at some point, probably in the next 5 years, this whole game commentary thing will be down to an extremely small elite group of people that are doing it, and they'll be doing it because their reputation will make it worthwhile for them to do it. And other people, as your life changes, as you grow into different things, and you want to start a real career, or you want to play video games, or whatever. If you want a job in the game industry, or if you like to talk about games or whatever, that's great. But look into a job getting into the game industry. I just don't see this YouTube thing getting any bigger than it is now. And in fact, there's so many people trying to get into it. It's going to dilute the entire thing so much that nobody is going to get any recognition from it. It's going to be one of those things that was fresh and new, and the people that got in on the ground floor and started it, they're the ones that are going to continue with it.
It's really low cost, really high demand.
All right, so I want to say my thoughts on that because this is definitely something that's been asked to me over and over again. I like to address it. Now, some people, directors out there, I'm not going to mention names, but I saw a video and he's just, it's never too late. It's never too late to go out there and become a director. Try your hardest. Give it some time. He said, give it a month before you quit, which at first I cracked up dying laughing. Give it a month. Try 2 years. But the whole thing with it is the internet killed television. There's a channel called that, and that is definitely something that I see. But the biggest problem is nothing lasts forever. Nothing in this world will ever last forever, and people will lose interest. I'll lose interest in zombies eventually someday. I will lose interest in this. I'm sure of it.
No.
He's lying.
And the whole thing is, people are going to lose interest in YouTube someday. Maybe it's going to be a different network. Maybe there's going to be some other new video network.
Absolutely.
But there is, I agree with you, going to be those core people that can still stay with it. And being this as a job, no way. I mean, if you want to go for Machinima, go work for them. Machinima is still a company. It's not just uploading commentaries. They still do other stuff. So it's like you can't just sit down and say, I'm going to sit home all day and make videos for a living. It just doesn't happen. I mean,
and even these big guys, these guys that are huge. I mean, that everybody knows. I mean, let's go with one of the biggest guys. It's the C-Nanners. This guy. Let me tell you. Right now he's living it up. Okay, he's got a great job and everything. But the next progressive thing that is going to happen to him is not sitting at home and talking about video games on YouTube. Okay, the next progression in his career choice, if this continues for him, is to go on to an actual television show or start going to events like PAX or E3 or whatever and hosting things. And because the guy has basically become a celebrity, he'll probably turn into a sponsor individual, a spokesperson of some sort, and people will follow him because he's got the ear of a large audience. This is not going to be something that he's going to be, 60 years old and he's going to be making YouTube videos at home. At some point, you have to turn this little hobby into something, and that's the only way it'll ever turn into anything.
At some point, you have to go from the homicide desk to the arson desk.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
You got to think about it, too, is there's no benefits with this, which is absolutely crazy to live a life without benefits. There's no way.
That's not true. I don't think that's entirely true.
Really? There's no benefits? You get benefits from YouTube?
Yeah, well, I mean, building your portfolio, getting that kind of knowledge, just getting that experience and talking, because it does help with my speech. I know it has, and it is kind of something useful, you could say.
Well, I think what Rad meant.
No, I'm saying like dental benefits. I'm talking like coverage, insurance.
Yeah, 401k, health, dental, vision.
That stuff I'm talking about.
No, Medina's...
You're not fully insured. What are you talking about?
Oh God!
Yeah, you didn't fill out your YouTube insurance. Come on.
God, I was lied to.
Yeah, but I agree with Medina. It does definitely help the way you speak. It can definitely help you that way.
Absolutely.
And that's an awesome thing to have. I mean, if you go back, like I said, if you go back to my first videos, look at how much I've progressed from then. In my comfort level when speaking. As a matter of fact, just take a look at the podcast. Go back to episode 1, then go to now. Look at how comfortable we are with it.
Yeah, we were pretty stiff in the first 2 or 3 there. We were trying to do something a lot more structured and a lot more time sensitive. And now we kind of let things flow a little bit more. And it's just, like you say, it's that comfort level, and that does improve things. And that will help you in the rest of your life, getting jobs, being able to talk to people, being able to discuss topics that are on your mind, either in a different career choice or whatever. But it's like I was saying, the only way that you can take something like this and only this and try to go get a job doing it is where you do become something like a spokesman at game conventions, or you go and get involved with a game company and you do PR for them, or be a community manager, something like that. That's the only way that this kind of hobby anyway can ever turn into something that is long lasting.
Yeah, and I think, just as, throwing a playthrough of a game up on the internet evolved into Let's Playing a game, and that somehow evolved into commentating over multiplayer, I think that this, in a way, will evolve into something completely different over the span of 5 or 6 years, and there'll be something new, for the gaming world that will be interesting to watch.
That's what I want to say, too. I think, remember how it's evolved, though? If you think about it, it started from pure gameplay, absolutely pure gameplay, to commentaries, montages, then
live streams.
And now where's it going to go next? It's going to go somewhere for sure, because it never stays the same path. There's change.
I think you've got a thing there. I think honestly, it might in the future may not even be YouTube. It may be just in TV. It may be there are no videos. It's just like no. Why record a video and then upload it when I can just do it all at the same time? Don't have to worry about rendering. I turn on my stuff. People can come and watch if they want. It auto records it. Whatever, and then they can view it on Justin TV.
And for me, play-by-play commentary is something that I'm starting to like a lot more now.
Yeah, that's what I've always done when it comes to Call of Duty. I've always enjoyed that, so that's what I always did. But as it goes on, especially with Mortal Kombat, it's getting harder for me to do that because I'm not very structured in my playing. Like Medina, if I were more like you and I knew what I was doing, I'm sorry. I knew all the technical aspects, and everything. I would be doing a play-by-play, and that's what I do with Call of Duty. And I do respect that more.
I mean, like legit play-by-play, like of another person watching two fights going on, like a kind of Husky StarCraft kind of play-by-play.
Oh, you mean like straight, like actual commentating a fight?
Play-by-play commentary. I love those. I really do.
Hey, guess what? I'll do it. I'm good with talking fast.
It's like watching a sport. You know what I mean? And
yeah, you're right.
When I do my King of the Hill, I want to have somebody that does the play-by-play, but they need to know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I want them to do it in that golf voice, though.
Yeah.
There he is.
No, we gotta do the soccer.
There he is.
Gotta be the
He
soccer.
just performed a babality.
And
He is
there's
throwing his fireball right now.
and there's the spine ripper.
There's a golf clap in there.
Oh, it's in the hole. Look at the lava. That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Flawless victory.
Fantastic.
That's awesome. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I totally agree with everything. I think that it will evolve. I don't think it'll be the same. So obviously something will be different. Yeah. And thanks for your question, Beard, whatever his name was.
Squatch Beard.
Squatch Beard.
One question. Wow.
That was one. That was one question, man. We get into this stuff, It's
Isn't it fun?
dig in.
I love it.
I don't even know where the other questions are though. Like, so Zombie is out of town. She's like actually she's in town for us, right?
Yeah, really. Yeah, she came over to our country this week.
She is somewhere in America. Don't know where. I forgot. And so yeah, she's not here with us. It was her birthday, so happy birthday, Zombie.
Yeah,
Happy
indeed.
birthday.
We do have. Let me see.
I love how time's gone on and Brad just keeps forgetting where she is. At first, he's like, I know exactly where she is. Now it's just like, oh, God, where is it?
I just didn't know if she wanted to. Maybe we've got listeners there, and she didn't.
Okay.
I don't know.
I still found it funny, though, because honestly, like, even just talking, you slowly start to forget. I thought you got, like, Alzheimer's or something.
All right, so this is a question, and this was interesting because I'd never heard of this before, but it's from Corey Williams. He says, "Hey guys, who do you think's to blame over the problems with the LA Noire overheating freezing issues? What the heck?
I read about this, but I have not experienced it.
I haven't either. I played for 20 hours straight, never experienced it." He says, "Personally, I have the freezing issue. I have a fat PS3, and have had it since I've never had these problems." So he's never had it. Rockstar pointed out the firmware update might be at fault, but I can't see that being an issue. I constantly play games like Black Ops, Battlefield, Mass Effect, and FIFA, so surely it was a firmware issue. More than one game would have problems. LA Noire, what I played is an amazing game. What do you guys think of it? We covered that. Thank you very much for your question. So basically, I guess he
here's
says,
what I actually have an official answer for that, because Rockstar finally came out and said that they did not believe it was the firmware update, and that they've got some things that they're supposed to do on a patch to fix it. It was something regarding the actual release, and it did not have to do with the firmware update, although they thought that at first.
So he actually did have the problem. I reread it. He does have that problem. I have never experienced the problem.
Is it one of those things where like the code is unfinished, so the CPU doesn't know what to do, and so much stuff is going on? You know what I mean? There's some code really is unfinished. It's not closed, and that's what happens.
Well, it didn't mess up for me, is what I'm saying. And I played through the whole game. I had a few technical issues here and there with heads like twitching and whatnot, not being in the right place when the scenes changed, or some of the chase sequences being debugged when one of the guys accidentally tripped over someone and he just would stop and start walking off. But it wasn't a huge like game breaker. So
and it's not just PS3, by the way, too. Apparently the same issues were happening on the Xbox. They were talking about it was a hard freeze, a full lockup on the Xbox as well. And so far, Rockstar has said that it is nothing to do with either of these systems. They believe that It's possible that there's something out there that has been installed or whatever on the either the Xbox or the PS3 that are interfering with it. They've got they were talking about their tech support page being able to help people with it or whatever, but they believe it's something that is interfering with the game from the systems, but not the firmware updates. So if you are having problems with that, Corey, go check out the tech support page over at Rockstar.
Yeah, they'll be able to help you more than I, because I did not experience that, and if I did, I probably wouldn't have thought anything about it because my PS3 freezes up all the time anyway. So.
I know. I'm pretty used to it. It's like as soon as I played Killzone 2, or Killzone 3, I was like, oh well. So this is what the PlayStation actually is like. 5 minutes of playing.
Never frozen.
I wanted to make a reference to one of the comments on our podcast last week. It was this guy, and I don't know his name. I'm not going to point him out, but he said that we were wrong because what's his name? He's from Machinima. He's like British. Crap. Can't remember his name. Anyway, he said that this guy, he knew that Brink was a good game because he liked it. And this,
oh my god!
And this was the same guy who said that Killzone 2 was like one of the worst looking games he had ever played. It was,
brother.
I was like, really? I was like, it wasn't that bad. It's like, I know Anakin didn't like it, but Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm not gonna down the
online
graphics.
multiplayer game, by the way, guys.
What?
Killzone 2 was my first online multiplayer game.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, that's the first FPS game that I ever played against human
Killzone.
beings.
Okay, I thought you said Killzone 3. Yeah, it registered as Killzone 3. And I'm like, bull crap, you and your game battles.
Two dopes. That's funny. That's the first game I got from when I got my PS3. So.
Well,
nice.
speaking
Yeah, that
of
was
that,
awesome.
We did have that. This was interesting because Brad, I wanted to hear your take on this. We had another message come in from Paul Ricciardi. Maybe it's Ricciardi. And he said, in your opinion, what was a bigger fail, Homefront or Brink? So, man, I got to hear your take on this because you did play both. I actually skipped Brink. I dodged that bullet. But I can tell you, if it's anything as bad as Homefront, and then it's a tie, okay?
Well, I did actually somewhat answer this last week, but basically, he wants to know because he's the one that donated the game to me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's in PRC. I can't remember the numbers, but yeah. So so here was what I said. Okay, basically, Homefront had a story that I could let's play. It had something that I could give to the fans. So I paid $60. I put time into it. I gave it to them. They like to watch it, and that was why that game was a good purchase. Brink had nothing to give to me. Okay, it had, and again, probably more hate mail because of the way I'm talking about it. It didn't have a good story. It didn't have very good gameplay to me. The graphics weren't any good. And the thing is that nobody wants to see that. I mean, honestly, like 15 minutes of somebody doing a mission, it's not interesting. It's not fun. I don't go on to YouTube and type in, Call of Duty 15-minute long demolition match. Do you? I don't do that. I want to see if I'm looking for a demolition match, it's like 25-second demolition. I'm like, oh my god, Yeah. This game is just it's Brink was worse to me than Homefront for that one reason.
Well, I played Homefront. You know how much I hated that. And here we go. I saw one video by Tobuscus and Toby Turner. He did a little. He does all kinds of stuff. Just random. He's more of a personality than gameplay. That's all he is, mainly personality, because he's pretty bad at gaming, which is kind of funny. But regardless, he played the game. The first video was an entire 15-minute video or 9-minute video of him just customizing his character. And the character makeup itself, maybe it's the way he made it, just looked like crap to me. And then when I saw the gameplay, instantly said, this is boring, and how can you like this? I have my German buddies, though, like Basher and Seb. They will disagree with me. They're like, how can you hate this game? You're crazy. You don't know German. And then I'll be like, the last one's right, but the other two are definitely not right.
Well, if you're wondering about the game, we talked about it last week. You can go check it out.
Yeah, I'll rewatch it. Please don't re-explain it.
Yeah, you can go check it out. But yeah, it's just I would have to say Homefront was better because there was something there to talk about.
Exactly. I mean, I can watch multiplayer Homefront. That is actually better than the entire game is multiplayer Homefront. But I saw multiplayer for brink, and I just wanted to cut my wrist.
You saw multiplayer, and you were like, wait, is this multiplayer or single player?
Exactly.
Who knows? It depends on whether somebody's throwing profanities in your ear or not. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the computer bots do that. So.
Oh well, then there's no difference.
That's
Well, did we have any more questions? I don't.
There was one more. This is just very, very quick. In fact, this refers back to an old podcast that we did when we really went on a rant about GameStop.
Okay,
and, we had one from Samuel Hahn. Thanks for writing in, Samuel. We've got, so I'm looking into buying Modern Warfare 2 used at GameStop because it's $30 there, and at Best Buy it's $40 used. However, after listening to all of your GameStop stories, would it be all right to still buy a used game there?
Yeah.
And, yes, here's the thing, Sam. I really appreciate you writing in on this because here's the thing. I still believe, and I'm going to get flamed for this, I still believe Modern Warfare 2 was the best overall Call of Duty online experience. I know now it's a little... Shut up! I know now it's a little messy out there with the whole hacking
most
world
addicting.
and all that.
I'll give you that much.
I felt
I'm addicted. I always get addicted to it. Oh my God.
I still love Modern Warfare 2. Okay, and if you've never played it, if you have not bought it or whatever, I truly believe it's worth it for the $30 over at GameStop. Go pick it up used. It's a good game. Even the single player game alone, if you're not going to play online, it's still worth the $30. It's a great game. There's a lot of good characters in there that everybody refers to. And not only that, it can get you ready for Modern Warfare 3 that's due this fall. So I say $30.
That's true.
Go ahead and give it a shot. And yes, you can buy it at GameStop. I don't recommend it, but go buy it at GameStop.
Exactly. Yeah, well, GameStop. It's not that GameStop has a bad product. It's just that the way they do it sometimes is kind of weird.
Exactly.
Take my nerd card. Do it. You'll get like it for $3. My platinum nerd card membership. Oh my God, I love that thing. It's like, yeah, Black Ops, and take Transformers for the Wii. Thank you. Give me that. $3. That's a win.
Fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah, so I mean that's the deal, man. It's not really a matter of I mean, because I've never had a problem buying a GameStop game. It's just most of the time they're way more pricier than these mom and pop game stores if you've got them. I shop around. I price shop like crazy.
Same for me.
GameStop, they'll be like, okay, how it is here, it's like you've got a $60 brand new game. They're selling it used for like $54.
I know.
Yeah.
If you go to a mom and pop store, they're selling it for $45. So
Well, and here's the deal, Sam. I'm telling you, if you got some friends out there that maybe are local to you, I guarantee you somebody you probably know has a copy of this. Okay, just ask to go borrow it. Not especially if they're a Call of Duty fan at all. They're probably playing Black Ops. Go borrow the game, play the single player. If you like the multiplayer and you really think you're going to play it enough to warrant a $30 purchase between now and November, then go pick it up.
Or look for it online for $20 or something.
Exactly. Go hit eBay or go jump on Amazon and look for a deal of the day on it. I guarantee you, even even new, you're probably going to find it for the same price that GameStop's trying to sell it used. So
Want to hear an epic win? I had to trade in my MW2 to go get Black Ops for Ascension when it was coming out for Xbox, so I'd buy it all 3 platforms. Now I'm like, oh God, And then we had that whole podcast about you guys laughing at me, or we just talked like, yeah, Modern Warfare 2 is awesome. I'm like, oh great, that sucks. And then all of a sudden the following week, I have my Black Ops for $9 with my nerd card I got for Xbox, got it for $9, and I lost my MW2. My friend comes over and he says, take Modern Warfare 2 from me. I hate this game. I'll literally give you $5 to take it off my hands.
Wow.
I declined the $5 and took Modern Warfare 2.
Sadness.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2. It's hard going back after Black Ops because, you don't kill people as fast in Black Ops as you do. I mean, you basically have to have stopping power on, in Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion. Yeah, I personally enjoy COD 4 better than Modern Warfare 2. But that's just me.
I think it's where you start. That's personally what I've seen over and over again.
Yeah,
because you got the 10-year-olds like, Modern Warfare 2 is the best. And the guys, the 9-year-olds for Black Ops, that's the best. And then the rest just gets mixed in.
Well, I don't agree because I started with COD 3.
I started with COD.
I'm talking about online.
Yeah.
Oh,
played the
well,
first
I
one,
guess
damn it.
PC online, yeah.
I'm talking COD 3 was online for Xbox.
True.
Oh,
yeah.
it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
So yeah, anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, we are running out of time.
we are overtime. So, first of all, before we head off, I want to thank Medina for Life for stopping by the podcast. Hopefully, this won't be the last time we see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Medina. We really appreciate it.
And if you
Awesome to have you.
if you guys listening here, if you don't know Medina, I definitely think you should check out his channel. That's Medina 4, the number 4 Life. Over at YouTube, go and check him out. He's got some good stuff over there, and he's also part of Next Gen Tactics. So,
Si, senor.
indeed. So, thanks for stopping by, Medina. You guys go check him out for sure. Have you guys got any parting words before we hit the road?
Hope LA Noire is a game for you. If it is, go pick it up. I want to hear your thoughts on it. If you've already played it, put them in the comments. And also, don't forget to email us at podcastdownthescope@gmail.com.
Indeed. And welcome once again back to the podcast, Rad Austin. You got any last words?
Yeah, it's so great to be back. I am so happy this is back in my life again because it was really bumming the crap out of me seeing it every Sunday saying, haha, Rad's not here, let's make a zombie joke. So I'm so happy to be back.
Fantastic.
We're
All
happy
right.
to have you, Rad.
Indeed. It's good to have you back. So, all right, having said that, this has definitely been episode 17 of Down the Scope, and we always appreciate you guys listening and making it through the whole podcast. This one's a little bit longer than normal, and we do appreciate you guys always taking the time to check it out. So, until next week, thanks for listening. See you guys next time.
Happy birthday, zombie.
See you guys.